competing in martial arts as a boy shaped my brain, shaped who I am as a human being. You cannot have any bullshit when you're throwing your bones at people. When you're involved in whatever it is with some other trained killer, and you're both really good at knocking people unconscious, and you're planning on doing it to each other. Ready, go. You know, your brain does not accept any bullshit. You have to know exactly who you are, and you have to have a very objective assessment of your abilities. Otherwise, you're going to get brained. You know, you're going to get a bone's going to bounce off your head, and you're going to get concussed. It's a very real consequence that very rarely faces you in everyday life. The choices you make very rarely get you concussed. But when the goal is for someone to knock you out, like that's their goal. They're trying really hard to do it. And you know that that's the goal. Like it's like one of the worst consequences you can get in everyday life other than dying. You know, it's a really hard one. Your own health, your own consciousness, you're going to get knocked the fuck out. So that reality, I think, forced me at a very early age to just cut the bullshit. Don't cut corners. Look at it exactly what it is. Do everything you have to do. And also along the lines, learning that every time I didn't, I felt terrible and that I felt weak. If I wasn't in shape, I felt pathetic. Like if I got tired in a match and that's why I lost, it was unbearable. Just the stink on me just would never wash off, you know? So that's where I learned. I learned it slowly but surely through a lifetime of struggle and failure and some success, and every success, cling to it like it's a new log that you found after you were swimming in the ocean to the point where you thought you were going to drown, then boom, you find a log. Okay, we got something. Okay, ready? And then jump off that log and keep going and make yourself to another log. That slowly but surely I accumulated all this information along with a lot of books, a lot of documentaries, a lot of talking to people that I found inspirational, a lot of martial arts, a lot of talking to instructors that explained like what it's about to get through a hard training session, what it's about to achieve your black belt, what it's about to be a champion, what it's about to hit the highest levels. I like to train myself. I write down, I have a workout routine. I write down all the things that have to get done. You know, this is all that's going to get done today. Period. This is going to get done. You know, X amount of kettlebell swings, X amount of chin-ups, X amount of squats, and you're going to do all that. It's not going to, you're not going to say, oh, enough already. I don't allow myself. So I train myself. So I write all that stuff down, and then I do it. But I love that I can motivate myself, that I don't need anybody yelling at me to get all this stuff done. That's very important. And I think when you can do that, like, it's so daunting. The beginning is so daunting. You're like, oh, looking at that piece of paper, I got to do all that shit. Creating, and I feel bad for people who don't get to create. I really do. Even if it's creating like at your job, you know, whether you're a carpenter or, you know, someone who puts things together, like there's something about making something that wasn't there before and now it's there. There's something about that, whether it's even just a performance or, you know, a song or whatever. There's something about that that's one of the few magical things in life. I mean, people right now, guaranteed, are listening to this and they're going, fuck, I got to get my shit together. and just that sometimes is all you need. You just need a little spark, and then nurture that spark, turn it into a fire. And that's really what it is. It's like Hunter Thompson had a great, I saved it on my phone because I read it online the other day, and it's so poignant and beautiful. But it was about, his quote was about music, and about some people say that music is inspiration. But what he says is, what they really mean is fuel. And that I've always needed fuel. I'm a serious consumer. On some nights, I still believe that a car with the gas needle on empty can run about 50 more miles if you have the right music very loud on the radio. You know, and there's something about that. I find that not just in music, but in conversations like this, that if I could download this and listen to it as a podcast, if I weren't a part of it, I'd be so fucking psyched. And the same thing about your book. I found it through your book. I found it through certain songs. I found it through movies. I found it through performances of musicians, comedians, everything. It exists everywhere around us, and it's all sparks. It's all sparks. You grab those sparks and you make your own fire. Yeah, we respond to the samurai. That's the one that everybody loves, and when it comes to martial arts, the Ronin. you know, the one lone person who lives by a very strict code, and we like to watch them practice because we like to watch their discipline. And, you know, like in every Steven Seagal movie, there'd be a scene where he was practicing. Like there's one where he's in a coma for 7 years, and he gets out, all of a sudden he's fucking running up hills and throwing punches in the air. And you're like, damn, he's back. He's practicing.
It's like leaving cigarettes out that burn more time as he's underwater, and like catching his, holding his breath.
But we, that samurai mindset, that we know that the samurai will hold up in combat. We know that they won't, that their character will be bulletproof, that they're not going to crumble.
Right.
What is that?
It's an inspiration to us. And I think why we like that samurai, I'm with you on that, Joe, is a samurai is an individual, as opposed to the Spartans that are a group or any, you know, other kind of things. And because we know that we're alone in the world. At least that's how I experience the world. And so when we can see the samurai train and have that discipline when there's nobody cracking a whip over his head, you know, nobody's paying him, nobody's patting him on the back, nobody's encouraging him. He's doing it all entirely self-disciplined, self-generated, self-reinforced, self-validated. That's very inspiring to us because we say, well, shit, you know, maybe I can do it. And I can tell from talking to you guys, that's how you live your lives, you know?
We try.
You fight that internal battle from the morning you wake up, the minute you wake up through the whole day.